he really was, and then with him gone, there wasn't anybody left. It was tough because I knew him pretty well. I knew his brothers a little bit, and I knew his band pretty well. I didn't know any of his family, and there's a lot of people there, and you know, as he's thinking of his mom, the tragedy that she's going through is a hell of a lot worse than anyone else in that room, and you know, does she really want me around here? And what can I do? And of course, she can't do anything. And I'd never seen that big of a group of people together before, mourning the loss of somebody in that way. Somebody that, because he was such a weird, magical little guy, that it made it that much more surreal when all of a sudden he wasn't there anymore. It made it that much harder. You know, it wasn't even though he did drugs for a while. You know, the whole time I knew him, he wasn't a Neil freak. You know, it was something that he did a couple of times, and he'd relapse, and then he'd check himself. And, so we didn't perceive him that way. It wasn't like this. Oh, he finally went and did it. You know, we saw that coming. It wasn't like that. It still had an air of real, like, got hit by a bus kind of tragedy to it. And the following days got even more surreal because the things happen where you think you'll see him on the street and forget and go, oh, that's him, and then you remember. And then the other thing is going back and listening to the songs. That's the hardest part. I still don't really. It's still kind of hard. And a lot of his, what he's saying lyrically and the sound of his voice was so haunting that you didn't realize it when he was alive, but once he was dead, it was just like he was a ghost. You know, you could hear it coming through in this. I think that happens sometimes when writers or songwriters or artists die. All of a sudden you start seeing like the story of their death in that work, and you think, wow, they wrote their own little eulogy here, which is bullshit, really, but you know, it kind of seemed like it at the time. And it was the funeral was really surreal as well. I was happy about it because it was a Paramount Theater and it was just packed full of people. And they were showing films of him and playing his music from beginning to end, and it was just an amazing soundtrack for this scenario, which was totally weird and wild. I mean, it was perfect, really, for him, because it was really wild. I mean, there was a lot of family members and friends, and there was a ton of fans. And, you know, the bad part was his close friends couldn't just go do this thing and deal with it. You know, we're all sitting there crying, and there's...
It just, you know, the world was sort of our oyster, and we had support, and we supported each other, and he was kind of like this beam of light sort of above it all. And to see him hooked up to machines, that was I think the death of the innocence of the scene. It was that. It was walking into that room.